Om Namo Narayanaya. We are reading through the Shikshapatri of the Swaminarayan Sect. The fasts of all the 11th days of the waxing and waning moon should be carefully observed, also of the birthdays of Krishna and the night of Shiva, with rejoicings during the day. On the fast day, sleeping by day should be most carefully avoided, since by such sleep the merit of fasting is lost to men quite as much as by sexual intercourse. Whatever appointed order of religious fasts and festivals was explained by Shree Vithalesha, or Vithalanatha, who was the son of Shree Vallabhacharya, the most eminent of Vaishnavas. Having conformed to that order, all religious fasts and festivals should be observed accordingly, and the form of worshipping Krishna directed by him, that being Vithalesha, should be adopted. A pilgrimage to the tirthas, or holy places, of which Dvarika, Krishna's city in Gujarat, is the chief, should be performed according to the rule. Loving charity should be shown towards the poor by all according to ability. Vishnu, Shiva, Ganapati, Ganesha, Parvati, and the sun, these 5 deities should be honored with worship by my followers. When at any place a calamity is caused by a demon or any similar cause, the charm called Narayana should be recited, or the mantra of Hanuman should be muttered, but not the mantra of any inferior god less esteemed. On the occurrence of eclipses of the sun and the moon, all my followers should immediately suspend their other business, and having purified themselves, should make repetition of the 8-syllabled mantra of Krishna. When the eclipse is passed off, they should bathe with their clothes on, and those who are householders should distribute gifts according to their ability. Other persons who have no worldly means should engage in the worship of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. Those followers of mine who belong to the 4 classes should observe, in conformity with the Shastras, the rules in regard to the contraction of impurity through births and deaths according to the degree of kinship. Brahmins should possess tranquility of mind, self-restraint, forbearance, contentment, and similar virtues. Kshatriyas should be remarkable for bravery, fortitude, and the like qualities. Vaishyas should occupy themselves in mercantile pursuits, money lending, and the like. Shudras should be employed in serving the twice-born, etc. The twice-born should perform at the proper seasons and according to their means, each according to his own domestic rules, the 12 purificatory rites, the 6 daily duties, and the Shraddha offerings to the spirits of departed ancestors. If intentionally or unintentionally any sin, great or small, be committed, the proper penance must be performed according to ability. The Vedas, or the Vedanta Sutras of Vyasa, the Bhagavata Purana, and the 1,000 names of Vishnu in the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, and the precepts of Vidura, the Vasudeva Mahatmya from the Vaishnava Kanda of the Skanda Purana, and the Smriti of Yajnavalkya, which is one of the Dhamma Shastras. These 8 sacred books are approved by me as authorities. All my twice-born disciples who wish good to themselves should recite these sacred books and hear them recited. In deciding questions of ancient usage or practice, the Code of Yajnavalkya, with its commentary, the Mitkatshara, should be taken as the best authority. The 10th and 5th books of the Bhagavata Purana are to be regarded as having the preeminence over all the other sacred books for the understanding of the glory of Krishna. The 10th and 5th books of the Bhagavata Purana and the Code of Yajnavalkya are respectively my Bhakti Shastra, Manual of Faith, Yoga Shastra, Manual of Devotion, and Dharma Shastra, Manual of Law. As a treatise on the soul, the commentary on the Bhagavata, as well as that on the Shariraka Sutras of Vyasa, made by Ramanuja Acharya, commends itself to my approval. Whatever precepts in these sacred books have for their subject the excessive exaltation of Krishna and of justice, vrisha, of faith, and of indifference to the world, such precepts should be regarded as taking precedence over all others. Their essential doctrine is that devotion to Krishna should be joined with the performance of duty. Duty, or dharma, is that good practice which is enjoined both by the Veda, Shruti, and by the Sun, Smriti, founded on the Veda. Devotion, bhakti, is intense love for Krishna, accompanied with a due sense of his glory. Indifference to worldly objects means absence of satisfaction in any object except Krishna. True knowledge consists in discriminating rightly between the nature of the personal soul, Jiva, or the external world, Maya, and the Supreme Being, Isha. The personal soul dwells in the heart. It is as subtle as an atom. It is all thought. It has the faculty of knowledge. It is ascertained to be constantly pervading the whole body by its power of perception. It is characterized by indivisibility and the like. The external world, Maya, is identical with the energizing power of Krishna. It is composed of the three gunas. It is darkness. It is to be understood as the cause of the souls having such ideas in regard to the body and the things relating to the body as are conveyed by expressions I, mine, and the like. We will pause here, and I will apologize for murdering these Sanskrit words and names.